So we've got a big Nintendo Direct update that we have to talk about. That's going to be going down pretty soon here, according to one of the best, if not the best leaker when it comes to Nintendo content, Nate the Hate. We also have an update on the WTF game that I spoke about a while ago from Reese Kiwi Talks Riley, and he feels that we're gonna find out about what this game is very soon here, probably within the month. We got to talk about that game, the refresher on what that is, and another leaked game that should be announced very soon here that you guys will be excited about. I've actually covered it a couple of times already. But before we continue, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 at 140,000 subscribers or on September 1st, whichever comes first. Subscribe, like, comment. The winner will be chosen at random, and it's a worldwide giveaway. Thanks, peeps. Nate the Hate over on Twitter had this to say about the Nintendo Direct and his podcast. Can't forget that, the Nate the Hate podcast, where we got so much information. He let us know about Star Fox and Ocarina of Time and more, but now he has an update here. So he says, we have recorded a new episode which will be available on Wednesday morning. Somebody else replied to, can you say what it is about? And then Nate the Hate said, Star Fox impressions / thoughts, Switch 2's first year reflection, and thoughts entering year 2 plus direct timing. And that last part is probably what everyone is excited about. Now, don't get me wrong, I really want to hear what Nate the Hate and MVG have to say about Star Fox and about the Switch 2's first year and then entering the second year. All of that is super cool and I can't wait to listen. But this Wednesday, the direct timing. Now, Nate the Hate has already came out and stated that he is hearing, or he's thinking, around mid-June. Now, Jeff Grubb over at Giant Bomb backed that up, saying, yeah, he's hearing about mid-June. And then we have some more information here from Mr. Reese Kiwi Talks that does seem like mid-June or June-ish at some point is going to be the timing for the Nintendo Direct. I don't think Nate the Hate would be having a podcast on Wednesday if he didn't know that it was probably happening this month. So look forward to that, guys. Looks like June is going to be the month for the big Nintendo Direct. And there's been a lot of speculation on what we could see at that Nintendo Direct. And for me, at least, I think that getting release dates for some of the games first and foremost, we need to see what's happening, and a new trailer. We need way more gameplay and information when it comes to Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. That is going to be something that I feel that Nintendo needs to make sure that they really kind of give more information on, show off any updates. That's going to be a big game, and that game is probably going to be coming out August or September. I don't really think it makes it past September, maybe October, but I think the Dust Bloods is probably going to be like an October type of thing, maybe Halloween. So I'm guessing August or September for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, and once again, that could be a game of the year quality style of game if they do everything that Fire Emblem Three Houses did when it comes to quality gameplay and all that with its 89, but actually tie up some of the loose ends with the performance of the game and the graphics and the loading times and all the things that kind of held back Fire Emblem Three Houses a little bit. So that could be a 90+ rated game. We're gonna have to wait on that one. We also could get updates or the first look at the Ocarina of Time remake. People are really excited and talking about that. Nintendo with the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda movie coming out next year. There also could finally be Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Nintendo could do something which I've talked about before and I'll probably discuss once we get the official announcement from Nintendo, but Nintendo could do some type of double pack just like they did with Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. We could see that for the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD and the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. I do think that that is possible, and to kind of put it all together within a nice Zelda segment for the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. So we'll see, and of course there could be all sorts of other big announcements. Nate the Hate has stated, if you didn't see my previous video on this, he stated that he didn't go over everything. He didn't leak everything. He doesn't know everything. Also, Mr. Furukawa, the president of Nintendo, stated that they have unannounced games that they're going to be ready to show off for this year and next year. But let's talk about some of those unannounced games, because Mr. Reese Kiwi Talks over on Twitter, he gave an update to this mysterious WTF game that he talked about back in late January. Now, I covered this in a video, and for a recap, he stated this on Twitter. I sit beside legends, though none are my kin. I'm sold their same keys to let players in. I share the same screen and I share the same light, yet my bloodline says I don't belong to the fight. What am I? And he has 7 games here: Monster Hunter Wilds, Death Stranding 2, Power World, Black Myth Wukong, Halo Combat Evolved the remake, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, and Bloodborne. So some people were speculating which one of these games is it, and he was so coy and he was so reserved. Like, he wouldn't give any other real type of details with some Riddler type of tweet here. So I don't know what it's going to be, but I did cover it. I made a video on it and I said maybe it's Horizon. I'm not sure because we already got the Horizon Lego game, so maybe Sony does that. But based after what Sony said about none of their games going to PC, I don't think they're going to want them to go to Switch 2, considering how well Switch 2 is selling. So I'm not sure which one of these games it is. But Reese Kiwi Talks did give a update on Twitter, and he stated that I'd be very surprised if the WTF game doesn't get announced this month in one of the showcases. So he says in one of the showcases. I think he's obviously including the unannounced Nintendo Direct at this point. So I wonder what it's going to be. People are talking, I hope it's Bloodborne, I hope it's Halo, I hope it's this, I hope it's that. And I talked about it too. I mean, I think that Halo would be pretty cool. People have always wanted Halo on a Nintendo platform, especially since they're going multi-platform with PlayStation and the new Halo game. There's been a lot of rumors. Halo almost happened back on the Nintendo DS as well. So I think that Halo is a safe bet when it comes to what this game could be. Obviously, Power World, that would just be mind-blowing considering the lawsuit that's happening right now. So I just don't see that. Black Myth Wukong is like, if that came over, it'd be like, whatever, I guess, cool. I know it's a good game, people do like it, but I don't know if that's really a WTF game. Death Stranding 2, same thing, but it's just Death Stranding, and Death Stranding 1 did come over to multi-platform, so I'm pretty sure Death Stranding 2 at some point will be multi-platform. We'll see, though, when it comes to Xbox. Monster Hunter, that wouldn't be surprising either, because it's Monster Hunter, so I know that Capcom probably wants to get Monster Hunter out there. And they've already kind of leaked it a little bit, some of the updates or the files for like the updates. It showed Nintendo Switch 2s and all that, so that seems likely. Bloodborne would be like the craziest what the F. It'd be Bloodborne or it'd be like Horizon. I think those are the two ones outside of the craziness of Power World that it would be like the most like, okay, whoa, how'd this happen? Especially Bloodborne, that'd be the biggest one. But I don't think it's that obvious because clearly Bloodborne stands out more so than anything. So I don't think he'd put that there and be like, all right, that's the one. That's way too obvious for a W2F. So I think that's just there to throw people off a little bit. So I have no idea what it is. He stated we're focusing too much on the actual games themselves and not looking maybe parallel to what that could be in terms of the franchise. So I don't know. We'll find out. Apparently, maybe it'll be at one of these showcases here, or maybe it'll be at the upcoming Nintendo Direct that Nintendo's going to have. But let's talk about some games that we know for sure that have been 100% leaked and are coming, and that is Rayman Legends Retold. We've got new information on this game as it's preparing for its reveal pretty much like today or something like that. So Billy Bill Kuhn over on Twitter gave us an update, and he says Rayman Legends Retold should feature couch co-op mode only, no online. It will include a free copy though of Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition. Now, as usual, game keycard for the Nintendo Switch 2, and for some reason, internet required to install the game in a PS5 disc. And they have a blurry box art that kind of shows it off. So they were definitely shown marketing material, or they're really good at actually doing different things when it comes to making box art and all that, because this definitely looks official with the Rayman Legends game. So let's talk about this real quick. So game keycard, obviously that sucks. People don't like game keycards, I get that. But it seems like they were cheaping out on this game just to begin with, because internet required to install the game for the PS5. Why would they even do that? There's plenty of space on that PS5 disc. So is it simply just a download key, almost like we saw with like Indiana Jones on the PlayStation 5? It does seem like it's that. Maybe they're trying to save on the price of printing, with the PlayStation 5 disc, but man, that's just kind of crazy because I don't think it's going to be a massive size game. And obviously this game will probably fit, we don't know the file size yet, but it'd probably fit on a 64GB cartridge that the Nintendo Switch 2 has, or even some of the smaller cartridges that we know are kind of going out into circulation now. So I do think that it's just Ubisoft cheaping out when it comes to Rayman. Like always, this is not a big massive franchise for them anymore, so they kind of treat it that way. But I do think that the game itself is going to be really good. Rayman Legends, one of the best games when it comes to 2D platformers, and you get Rayman Origins in there included for free. So I think that's going to be a pretty good deal because they did state that it's going to cost $40 for this, so you get 2 games, 20 bucks a pop here. And the Rayman Origins Enhanced Edition, it's going to run like at 4K 60 or I think maybe even 120. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's going to run and look good. That game still looks awesome and still plays really good. Rayman Legends is the same thing. And apparently Rayman Legends Retold, it's a pretty much like a high-end remake master or remake/remaster. So it's going to look better than the original game on like the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation and Xbox. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to be. I think people are going to be surprised about how good this one looks, especially if you've never played Rayman. This will be the place to check it out. So what do you guys think about the different topics here? I know there's a lot of excitement heading into the big presentations. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.